One critically important aspect of a child's development is their ability to make and sustain friendships. Once a child reaches the day that they start going to school, their primary source of interaction with others switches from being their family and siblings to their peers inside of their classes. Here, they're introduced to a variety of people who have different cultures, customs, and backgrounds from their own. Children must learn how to adapt and accommodate their peers to form relationships throughout their life. During the earlier years of a child's life, the majority of their time spent with their friends involves play. Play is a pleasurable activity that children participate in for its own sake. Play is an important aspect of children's development because it helps children understand anxieties and conflict. Piaget concluded that play provides children a perfect setting to exercise cognitive structures and acquired skills in a relaxed, pleasurable way, essentially saying that children can subconsciously practice social interactions and acceptable behavior in a non-threatening, enjoyable environment. Early friendships are about sharing enjoyment and entertainment, while later friendships provide children the means which to explore identity and self-understanding. Although having friends can be a cognitive advantage, having certain people in your circle is not always positive. Advantages occur when children have friends who are socially skilled and supportive, but can be a disadvantage if they are threatening, manipulative, and conflict-ridden friendships. Studies found that students who engage in aggressive or disruptive classroom behavior were more likely to have aggressive friends, and students with friends who are academically oriented are more likely to achieve success in school themselves. Friendships also play a significant role in creating our moral development in several ways. Friends can provide moral support and encouragement when we face ethical dilemmas. They can offer different perspectives and help us navigate complex moral issues. Having friends who share our moral values can reinforce our commitment to those values. They can improve conflict resolution skills. Disagreements and conflicts are inevitable in any relationship, including friends. How we handle these conflicts can significantly impact our moral development. Learning to resolve conflicts peacefully, compromise, and empathize with others' perspectives can enhance our moral reasoning and interpersonal skills. They can improve our moral accountability. Friends can hold us accountable for our actions. When we have friends who uphold high moral standards, we may feel compelled to live up to those standards ourselves. Peer pressure can also have moral implications either positively or negatively. It is important to note that the impact of moral development can vary greatly depending on specific friendships, the context, and individual differences. Some friendships may promote positive moral growth, while others may lead to moral stagnation or even regression. Additionally, the influence of friendships is just one factor among many that shape our moral development, including family upbringing, cultural influences, and personal experiences. American psychologist Lawrence Kohlberg's moral development focuses on how children develop morality and moral reasoning. Kohlberg created his theory by presenting a series of moral dilemmas to his study subjects and asking them to determine the reasoning behind their judgments in each scenario. Kohlberg's theory is divided into three main levels, each containing two stages. The first level of Kohlberg's theory is about pre-conventional morality, which is from ages 0 to 9. The first stage involves obedience and punishment orientation. In this stage, individuals focus on avoiding punishment and physical consequences. They make moral decisions based on self-interest and obey authority figures to avoid punishment. Stage 2 involves individualism and exchange. At this stage, individuals start to consider their own interests, but also begin to understand that there is mutual benefit in following rules. Children account for individual points of view and judge actions based on how they serve individual needs and start seeking reciprocity in their actions. The second level is conventional morality, which is from early adolescence to adulthood. Stage 3 involves interpersonal relationships. In this stage, individuals value social harmony and seek to conform to expectations of their family and society. They make moral decisions based on the desire to gain approval and avoid disapproval from others. Stage 4 is about maintaining social order. Similar to the previous stage, this stage individuals become concerned with obeying laws, rules, and maintaining social order with society as a whole. They recognize the importance of authority, duty, and the social contract in making moral decisions. Level 3 involves post-conventional morality, which is rare in some adults. Stage 5 involves social contract and individual rights. In this stage, individuals begin to question and evaluate societal rules and conventions. They recognize that not all laws are just and may prioritize individuals' rights and social contracts over blind obedience to authority. And the last stage, stage 6, is about universal principles. At this highest level of moral development, individuals develop a strong sense of personal moral principles. They base their moral decisions on a universal ethical principles such as justice, equality, and human rights. These principles guide their actions even when they conflict with societal laws and rules. Carol Gilligan's theory of moral development is an alternative perspective to Lawrence Kohlberg's theory. Gilligan, a feminist psychologist, criticized Kohlberg's theory for its gender bias and proposed her own stages of moral development. Gilligan's theory suggests that men and women often approach moral dilemmas and ethical reasoning from distinct perspectives. Her theory consists of the same three levels as Kohlberg's, as well as a transition between the levels. Level 1 involves orientation to individual survival. At this stage, individuals are primarily concerned with their own well-being and survival. If there is a conflict between the needs of the self and needs of others, a woman will choose to adjust her own needs. This transitions to the next stage. A woman realizes that their prior moral perspective can be characterized as selfish and begins to consider the needs and wants of others and may engage in self-sacrificing behavior to please or help others. The second level involves morality of goodness as self-sacrifice. Individuals at this stage prioritize the needs and expectations of others over their own. They feel responsible for maintaining good relationships and conforming to social expectations of what it means to be a good person. This transitions to stage 2. In this transition, the woman begins to experience tension between the needs of others and the needs of the self. She begins to realize she must form a better balance between her needs and the needs of others. This leads to a shift in moral judgment away from goodness to truth as she starts to honestly assess her own desires, not just assess her responsibility to others. And level 3 is post-conventional morality or morality of nonviolence. In this stage, individuals move beyond self-sacrifice and begin to question societal norms and values that may lead to harm or injustice. They emphasize nonviolence and seek to create more just and caring relationships. The need of the self are just as important to the need of others, which causes the women to arrive at the universal ethic of care and concern. For my own personal experience, I grew up from a good family with both my parents and 5 siblings and a Christian household, so I think I got a pretty strong moral reasoning from growing up there alone. I moved houses a lot when I was younger, so I never really had long-lasting friendships in school. Mostly every school I went to, I would only have a group of like 2 or 3 people that I would somewhat talk to regularly. So I grew up Christian, so I wouldn't allow myself to closely associate with people that I knew were going to get me in trouble. And I think kids do a lot of stupid or crazy behaviors for no reason at all, so often I would distance myself. And I would say I learned most of my social reasoning through dealing with my parents and siblings and being a Christian. That's it.